TPCSI fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all your sports books and track all your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You could also sign up for sports books and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as it's the best account on the platform. Head to App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire and download the app.
Jared, hey, we're gonna need you to tone it down with the Summer Friday thing, okay?
What are you talking about?
Well, for one, it's not summer anymore.
Oh, really?
Coconut. Also, who is this?
I'm the caddy.
Oh, he's my intern?
Sorry, intern. I'm his intern.
Yeah, he's doing a great job.
No golfing in the office, okay? Summer Fridays are over. You can keep the Hawaiian shirt, but the rest of the stuff, all right? Are you grilling?
Oh, yeah. Did you want a burger or a hot dog?
No, grilling in the office.
That's a good point. We should take this outside.
No, that don't. You put that right back down.
Yo, it's all in the hips.
Oh, dude, come on, we gotta go. Let's go.
Love yourself. A merry little Christmas. And have yourself a merry little Christmas.
Good evening, sports fans from all around the globe. I am the co-host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and it is that time. It's been a damn while. I don't even know how long it's been for the closing bell. Myself and Riley Magnuson back with you tonight. We'll do a little mini re-entry Wednesday. Big college slate and hoops. Big East action starts today, which has not been good for my UConn Huskies to start the last 2 years. They've struggled early. They lost their first game in Big East play last year at Seton Hall. Then they sheeted up until at Creighton, and then they struggled the year before. I think they lost 3 of their first 5 in play. But anyways, we'll catch up to that. Let me see, 2 college football games. Western Kentucky, James Madison, California, UNLV. A lot to catch up, a lot to talk to, but first and foremost, a shout out to our proud sponsor and partnership, Viva Tequila Seltzer, CT Bets Austin, the best in the business. Go try an adult beverage, Viva Tequila Seltzer. 6 exciting flavors now where you drink adult beverages. WagerWire. Head on over to Google Play, download that app. It's free. And you just saw the commercial, Atlanta Steaks and Seafood. And introduce yourself to Terry Smith, as we're having a little issue here. I'm trying to get up his logo and I can't seem to get it up. But anyways, introduce yourself there while you're there. AtlantaSteaksandSeafood.com, as we're now starting to lag a little here. Of course we are. Use the promo code STEAKS10 at checkout. Steaks, chops, seafood, appetizers, anything you need, Terry's got. And he is live in Atlanta. CEO and founder, the best customer service in the building. Trust me, you'll enjoy it. My grill never stops here back home on Cape Cod. So without further ado, let's bring him in, Mr. Riley Magnuson. What's up, champ?
What is up, my friend? Good to be back with you. Yeah, you said it. It has been a minute. I was sicker than a dog last week, so was completely unavailable last week. So that one's all on me. But yeah, ready to rock, my man. We got some decent amount of college basketball games today. Obviously, I believe we'll be talking on Friday, but got college football to get ready for. Had the official kickoff of bowl season in a kind of a crazy one last night. Kind of a crazy finish to that one with Memphis and West Virginia. But obviously, we've got a couple of games today, but a lot of these games obviously you really got to do your research on, you might have a ranked team that you've been wagering on all season long, and then wondering why they're 12-point underdogs, and then realize they lost all 3 of their quarterbacks to the transfer portal already. So it is I think we've talked about it the last couple of bowl seasons now, but more and more these bowl games that we're going to start seeing are going to be crapshoots. And it, for anyone who hasn't been a fan of these bowl games anyways, obviously it's only validates you more. They can be entertaining, obviously, but some of the products of these games are going to be rough. So I'm interested to see what we got today and a few of these other ones here coming up the rest of this week. But obviously, the big ones on Friday and Saturday are going to be fun.
God, there's so many things. Like I said, I want to make this short, sweet, to the point, but I could talk for hours with you playing catch up. One of the teams, I want to say it's Marshall, but I think I'm wrong there, had to tap out of their bowl game because they lost 25 players.
Yep,
Marshall.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, we could see there's obviously a couple weeks. There's some of these bowl games that are lesser bowl games that are after the New Year that could have even more madness like that. So I don't know what happens as far as that is concerned. Obviously, I think a lot of people agree there needs to be some regulations as far as transferring goes the way it's gotten to be. Anyways, I know there's certainly a middle ground from what it used to be to what it is now, but if we're going to continue like this, I mean, these bowl games were already, the Art of Sport LA Bowl tonight. I mean, people were already laughing about those types of bowls 10 years ago, but now it's only, even tenfold from what it used to be. So, curious to see where we're at and how many more of these it's going to take until we, have some type of plan for these bowl games going forward. But yeah, when you're a good team and then you lose half your starting roster to the transfer portal, why even participate in these games?
And with the NIL, the transfer portal, I mean, someone that you thought you had, because Riley, you came to me, we made a deal, you said I'm in, and then next thing you know, someone, the thievery, these guys, sneaking in the back door. Well, what are you getting here? I'm getting $1 million. Well, I'll offer you $2 million. All right, yeah. I'm gone. And it's just awful. And so. Anyways, I need to get this off my chest. It's been a while. You and I talked about this till we're blue in the face, and I'm going back to the Winter Stove meetings. We haven't had a show since then. And, of course, Juan Soto was the big name there. Goes to the Mets, $756, $75 million signing bonus, yada, yada, yada. Then the big names come. Of course, the next big name is Corbin Burns, still unsigned. Max Fried, and then, Bellinger goes to the Yankees in the trade. But my point is, the Red Sox, who have been dormant and not a part of the spending spree for the last 5 years, said, guys, I'm in. We're in. And what they're really trying to do is to say, hey, guys, we're back in the dance. We're back at the winter meetings. I got a blank checkbook here. But they're really trying to make their names relevant here. Supposedly Boston's not a place that people want to come anymore, yada, yada, yada. But the locals have a way to spin this. If you don't spend money, you're cheap. Or if you do spend money, you're now overspending, and now you got to overspend to get it. So in other words, if the Red Sox wanted Juan Soto, they would have had to pay him $800 million. Go bleep and pound sand. You're not Shohei Ohtani. Okay, you're not must-watch TV. Ticket sales aren't going up because he signed Juan Soto, so blow it out your ass.
Right.
Okay? Corbin Burns, his numbers have gone down the last 3 years. Max Fried, the Red Sox were in for 7 at 188. The Yankees had to go to 8 and 218. If the Red Sox went to 8 and 218, he would have came to Boston. Blow it out your ass. That contract the last 3 or 4 years is going to be awful. The Red Sox got the best arm in the winter meetings. 25, 26-year-old lefty bulldog, 6'6", 245. Over 200 Ks. They average a K&a-half an inning on the worst team in baseball. With 2 years, we now own him, which we're going to give him a contract extension because his arbitration case is only for $3 million deals. Riley, thank you. Teal will be great. Hopefully a couple of these others pan out. But thank you, Riley.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It is. I know a lot of people are comparing it. It's repeating history. The White Sox from Red Sox to the Chris Sale deal. very different. He was older than what we were getting Crochet, quite a bit older. And you were in a World Series hunting. You got the World Series with Chris Sale there. But no, Garrett Crochet. I mean, it's a guy that most fan bases and even the White Sox are upset that he's we're letting him out the door, even though we are getting a lot of prospects back. But when you're the White Sox and you have they do have they're kind of rebuilding themselves on pitching, which they have good pitching prospects coming up, so it does make it a little easier to part ways with them. But they had to fill their chest at position players. Their farm system of position players is an absolute joke up until this point, and it still isn't very good. So, especially if it doesn't ring true how good he is, he did, like you said, he did all of that on one of the worst teams in the history of baseball. Not the worst team in baseball, one of the worst teams in the history of baseball. And so, the White Sox doing some minor moves, but. No, the Red Sox, I mean, especially unless you're going to be that gross spending, Dodgers, Yankees, Mets, shelling out, like you said, these hundreds and hundreds of $1 million. They're in a decent spot there, and that was a fantastic move, and their pitching staff is going to be good here. Because I'm with you. I mean, Juan Soto, for how much money you're right. He's not Shohei Ohtani. He is incredible. He is one of the best baseball players in the world. But the average fan isn't dropping their channel just because Juan Soto is on the New York Mets. It's gonna help a little bit, but seriously, I mean, he's I'm taking this from someone else I heard ranting about this, but no one's dropping the remote to see him walk twice a game, which again is obviously great OBP and helps the Mets. I'm not saying it isn't, but as far as that national media, it helps. I'm not saying it doesn't, but it's not the same, and it is a lot of money there.
Okay, and there's other moves to be made. Now I'll just give everyone the inside scoop. Everyone wants them to spend some money, and we haven't spent any money yet. So everyone wants to move Devers from third to first. Go sign Alex Bregman. I don't want Alex Bregman, even though Cora coached him, won a World Series with him. He can play third or second. I get that, okay? But just hear me out on this one. Let's get creative here. There's a deal on the table for Tristan Casas to Seattle for Castillo, okay? I was poo-pooing it because I'm a Gilbert guy or I'm a Kirby guy. But now I'm on to this because I tell you what. You can go, not that they will, but you can now go and get your first baseman, Pete Alonso. If you got a Devers and Alonso 3-4 punch there, that really piques my interest. But here's where I want to get creative. Who's the number one free agent next year?
Next year? Oh, man, off the top of my head, I don't know.
His name is Vlad Guerrero. Where's he play? Third base. So why would I spend 7 years on Bregman when I can hold out one more year and I can push all in? If you got a Devers Vladdy, now that's a hell of a 1-2 punch, and you got two young kids. So there. And you can go and get a Walker Buehler. You can go get a Blackjack Flaherty. Plus all the Red Sox staff now, their 1 goes to a 2. Their 2 goes to a 3. Now if you add a Buehler or if you added a Castillo, that helps there. So there's my little baseball rant. You can add, subtract, or add 2 cents, whatever you want to do.
No, and especially now that Juan Soto leaves the Yankees, there's an opening. I'm not saying they're gonna overtake the division for the next 10 years. It's going to be really competitive. Obviously, you got a young Baltimore team. Yankees are always going to spend, but you got yourself back into a window where you can be aggressive, and you don't have to go all in on this year to the point that you're making. The world isn't going to make or break on you and on the Red Sox overspending and making as many moves as possible this year. You can do some moves this year, and like you said, you not only get someone, but get somebody who's fantastic, who does move the needle as far as the fan base is concerned, would be, I'm sure, with Vladdy, and you take him away from somebody else in the division, works all the way around there. So I'm with you. I like that layout that you got going on there for yourself. I am very, very, very jealous because it is going to take a while for me to believe in anything that my own team is doing here. I don't remember what the stat was, but one of the worst hitting productions and pitching productions last year outside of Garrett Crochet, but yet we retain our majority of our coaching staff under our new manager. So I could go on for days as far as that. But hey, we got an updated stadium name. Instead of Guaranteed Rate Field, it's just Rate Field now. So that's fun news over here on the south side, my friend. It's big stuff going on these days.
Well, let's transition into something because it's going to be fun next spring. You're going to be married before you know it. We're going to be doing our baseball shows, and hopefully my Red Sox are in contention. I think a few more moves, a Bueller or a Blackjack or a Castillo, add a bat. I don't know. I don't think they'll get Tosca. I am intrigued. I'm not. Let someone else overspend for Santander. But again, if you could, I'll move the needle with Alonso here. As well. Let me do this here. Hold on. Okay, I was just looking at something. All right, apologies there. Let's go with something that, since the last time we talked, things have changed. New sheriff in town in the NFC. It's called the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, just the Lions, injury after injury after injury after an injury. You knew in the first quarter, down 14-0, they had no stopping the Bills, and they weren't going to beat them. Eagles tied with them. The Vikings aren't going away right there. In stepped your Packers. Again, Josh Jacobs just kills. I can't even start Jordan Love anymore. Romeo Doubs hadn't played him forever, and next thing you know, here he is, 2 touchdowns. Jaden Reed nowhere to be found, but you got to be feeling good. Give us your Packer update.
Oh, absolutely. From a fantasy, like you said, from a fantasy perspective, anyone other than Josh Jacobs is tough to start. And Romeo Doubs might even be the most consistent guy right now, minus the couple weeks he missed with a concussion there. But yeah, feeling fantastic. That was a great late season measuring stick to where, we've obviously had some really, really good games against those other 3 teams, the Lions, Eagles, and Vikings, and those are our only 4 losses. And so they've won a couple of games against some mediocre teams, but to go in and dominate in Seattle like that was really, really it gives you a sense of courage and a sense of confidence going into it that you're going to be able to get your second revenge, or in the Lions' case, third revenge, if we meet these teams in the playoffs there. So. I guess the focus is, I think, hoping, obviously winning on Monday night against the Saints, and you lock up at least a 6 seed, most likely is obviously the goal. But if you can find a way, I mean, the division after you lose to the Lions a couple weeks ago is kind of out the window. But if you can find a way to beat the Vikings and have the Vikings lose to either Detroit or Seattle, and get that 5 seed, because in most cases it wouldn't really matter if the difference between the 5 and the 6 to me this year, whether that's playing the NFC South or the NFC West in the first round, doesn't matter. And at this point, maybe you'd prefer to play the Lions, but there's actually a legit chance that the Vikings and the Packers at 5 and 6, if that's the way it falls, could advance to the NFC Championship. And so that 5 seed makes it that much more important in that case to host that potential NFC Championship game. Obviously, that's a lot of chips to fall down. But defensively playing really, really solid right now, running the ball well. Jordan Love looks healthy, protecting the ball so much better than what he was for the majority of the season. Honestly, looking at, maybe not as explosive as what we saw a few games at the end of the stretch last year, to your point, partially because of Josh Jacobs. But protecting the ball is my biggest thing as far as my confidence going forward for the Packers, and Jordan Love is doing a lot more of that. Limiting to maybe only one questionable throw that hasn't been as catastrophic as ones that we saw earlier in the season. But like I said, defensively, Edgerrin Cooper comes back, our rookie, looking really, really good. And really the biggest thing now, a lot of our defense is healthy. Just I lose Quay Walker, but you get some other guys back. And then Jair Alexander, if you can get him back and healthy for the stretch run, is almost like another addition there. So feeling very, very good. Not too stressed about this upcoming week against the Saints, obviously. I'm a little worried that I know they're 14.5-point favorites, I think. Almost worried that it is a little bit of a trap game. You get a motivated Spencer Rattler coming into town. Makes me a little nervous that it's a little trap game, but at the end of the day, feeling very, very good, my friend, and got a lot of confidence moving forward. Meeting any of those teams in the playoffs is going to be tough, so I'm not not crowning anybody yet, but like you said, with the Lions' defensive injuries, it doesn't seem like that's gonna go away anytime soon. Those issues, and so you turn your sights to the Eagles as the like you said the team to beat in the NFC right now.
And in the AFC, it looks like Mahomes, is pulling Mahomes. He's going to gut that one out. They were 2.5-point underdogs. Mahomes has been practicing. They're 3-point favorites now against Houston, who then have to turn around on Christmas Day and host the Ravens. So that ought to be interesting there. Buffalo is the talk of the AFC. Lamar, a close second, but they're a step below. And then, of course, you got to beat the champs, looking for a three-peat there. And the AFC after that is up for grabs there. All right. I've been holding this back, and it's time. We have a handful. We have a decent crowd. We haven't done a closing bell in a while. If you haven't been following us on YouTube, jump over to YouTube at East Coast Sports Investors. Subscribe. It's free. Come on back to Twitter at EC Sports Invest, and again, follow us and turn on your notifications and never miss a show. ECSI VIPs. We're on a heater. We're on a heater, and we're coming up to the end of 2024, and January 1st, 2025 is the start of our 10th year of public service. Now, we were the ones in 2017, March Madness, conference championships. We went on the greatest run in the history of sports, 30-2 from the conference championship through March Madness. Well, since Friday, we're on a 15-1 heater right now. And 95% of that is, actually, I'm lying. 13 of them are college basketball team totals, 1 NFL team total, and 1 NHL game. Why am I saying this? Because I'm not saying I've cracked Da Vinci's Code. Okay, it takes a lot of work, but the eyes have never been sharper this year. And so I'm reaching out to everyone who loves all the freebies. Everyone, hey, I can go follow these guys at this time. These guys, why do I need a service? Well, you need a service because you get props, you get futures. Futures are a big part of our job. 4-0 in the PGA majors last year. We do shows with Brady, Kannon. We do shows with all the experts, okay? If you go to our website, eastcoastsportsinvestors.com, on the top right, plans and pricing, you scroll all the way down, $375 a month retail. That's retail pricing. It's been the same for 10 years. But there is a welcome to the ECSI family. It's $3 a day. It's $99 a month. It's a gym membership. That's what we call it here. You get all our information sent to your cell phone via text, and you get an email with all our plays. We never take a day off, meaning you'll always get something from us, but we do take days off. Last night, 4-0. Monday, 1-0. Sunday, 3-0. Saturday, 4-1. Friday, 3-0. But what I'm trying to do is to get some people interested in what we're really all about, okay? And the only way to do that is long term. So what I'm trying to do is to get some people to treat yourselves to an early Christmas present, okay? So December, we have 2 weeks left. Then you got January, then you got February, then you got March. That's 3 months. So at $99, it's $300 plus 2 weeks. So we'll say it's, I don't know. We'll just round up to $350, $375. That 1 month price retail for $375. Okay, guys. What I'm going to do today, and I will do it the rest of the week because I'm in the given. I might do it for the rest of the year. I don't know. But I want you a part of this 15-1 heater. Maybe we can crack that 30-2 and beat it. I don't know. But I know what my eyes are seeing. Okay, and I got a couple winners tonight. So go to our website and either sign up for the $99 a month and then DM me. Hey, Jeff, I'm on board, and I'll talk long-term with you. Or sign up for $375 for 1 month, and I'm going to give you January, February, March. I'm going to give you April, the first month of baseball. And you know what? I'm going to give you May, too. I'm going to give you 5 months. 5 months, okay, for $375. And I'm going to take you all the way through May, which will take you through the NHL playoffs. And if you're an NBA guy, maybe I'll throw in the next 2 weeks for the NBA finals. Okay? And I'm only telling you this because I've been doing it for 10 years. And when I get on these heaters, it's crazy. It is crazy how far we can take them. It's all the sports. I'm not just going to single out to one sport. So either sign up for $99 a month, $3 a day. I know everyone here can afford it. Or sign up for that 1 month retail, $375. Reach out to me. Hey, I just signed up. I'll hit the cancel button so you don't get charged $375 a month. And I'll take you through May, which will get you through the they'll get you through the first 2 races too. They'll get you through the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness. So I'm done rambling. The board is yours, sir.
I was just going to add that's throwing in May. There's some good golf in there as well. PGA Championship is one of the majors. Obviously, the Masters in April there, so you get half the majors as well as some of these good April and May golf tournaments, my friend, as well. So Santa Dawson over there in the giving mood, it sounds like. So that is nothing to slouch at, my friend. I love it. And of course, as you said, January and February and March of college basketball, March Madness, all these Super Bowl, whatnot. So that's huge. But anyways, no NBA tonight, my friend. We got a massive slate tomorrow night. A little too early to try and dissect what's going on there, as we'll probably learn of some injury news. But credit to I know you're it's wild. We've buried the lead, my friend, that the Milwaukee Bucks are your 2024 NBA Cup champions. I know that was eating at your heart there that we haven't mentioned that at all yet. So, no, we've got college basketball tonight. Your UConn Huskies are in action tonight. In conference against Xavier. The Huskies have bounced back since that ugly stretch in Maui a few weeks ago. I have put together some really nice wins these last couple of weeks here. Baylor, Texas, Gonzaga. Xavier, on the other hand, not a bad season by any stretch, but this last week or so they've been taking a couple of losses. 13.5. Is this a fair line, or is this a little inflated with the hot streak that UConn with some big wins back under their belt? A little inflated here tonight. Is this one is this one in stores, or is this one at the it's in stores? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's at stores. I don't think it's at the XL Center.
It is at the XL Center tonight.
Stores. Let me.
No, it's at.
Oh, is it?
XL
Okay,
Center,
and listen, guys, season ticket holder. There's a huge difference between stores. Big difference between the XL Center and stores. The XL Center, you don't have that homey confined feeling. So it is a little inflated. Open at 12.5 now. 13.5 at Circa. Good afternoon, Mr. Benson and Mr. Stevens. 149 down to a 146.5. Ken Palm's got it 80-70. They got this at 150. And they got UConn winning by 10. You said it, 3 bad games in Maui. Then they come home, they beat Baylor. They win at Texas, and then an amazing, felt like a Final Four championship game at the Mecca at Madison Square Garden on Saturday. And get out 13-2 against the Zags. Zags say, hold my beer. That team has 2 dynamic guards. They are going to be a tough out come tourney time. Samson Johnson gets a concussion. He's out here. I was going to say emergence, but coming out game of rookie freshman Mr. McNeely playing great. I love the transfer Reed from Michigan State, had a phenomenal game. He's going to be a big part of this team moving forward. I don't think we've seen the best of Caravan as well. They'll get the win tonight, guys, but I'm not running to the window to lay the 14.5.
Right. No, I also expect them to win. I was looking at Ken Palm for this next one here. Curious your thoughts on if you think this one is a little smelly. You've got Memphis, who is top 25 per the AP poll, 33rd on Ken Palm. At Virginia, 100th ranked team on Ken Palm, 6-4. And some of their losses, they've lost to some good teams, nothing to really sneeze at, but they've gotten there. You know what's kicked in those losses against some of these good teams. Don't really have a great win on their resume here. They beat Villanova early, who was struggling. Memphis -3.5 on the road here and a 129.5 total. Are we going to see that classic the last 10 years of Virginia ball, just grind it out, slow them down, and Memphis isn't gonna it's a different opponent that Memphis is seeing, or am I reading into this one? And this one, maybe Virginia wakes up in this one here tonight.
Well, the line went to from 5 to 3.5. Let me see one thing here, guys. I'm trying to multitask here. Apologies. Multitasking here. I've tried to beat Memphis a couple times, and I've gotten pennied on. Penny has a good squad. They beat UConn outright in Maui in overtime. They've had some big wins. The public's on the Virginia side. I would say the Virginia is the right side. I just don't like the line movement. I'm going to stay far away, but if someone needed to scratch an itch there, no problem with Virginia tonight. I just don't like the corrected line move from 5 to 3.5.
Sure. No, it seemed a little weird to me on that one. Neutral site game, a neutral site game last night, Florida and UNC, very exciting game. Same site tonight for Michigan and Oklahoma. Per the AP, these two teams are top 25 teams, as well as Michigan 22nd per KenPom, Oklahoma 38th, despite being the 14th ranked team in the AP. Undefeated 10-0 for Oklahoma. Yeah, we've got Michigan as minus 3.5 point favorites here. Oklahoma, a couple solid wins. Arizona, Louisville, that Thanksgiving week had a nice run of it there. Michigan, kind of the, at least especially compared to where they were last year, new coaching regime, kind of the surprise team so far in the Big Ten. 8-2, a couple of nice wins in the Big Ten so far. Lose over I think this was maybe a week ago against Arkansas in a really close game. And you got Michigan minus 3.5 here against an undefeated Oklahoma team. I think it's giving some good respect to Michigan here. So I do kind of respect that, and I think Michigan might flex their muscles and kind of show why they are favored by 3.5. Just to put it simply like that. Looking at their schedules, you got Oklahoma just played a tough game against Oklahoma, or a spirited game against Oklahoma State. Their in-state rivals. Michigan doesn't really have any tests the rest of the month here before they go into conference play in January. So I think they can put a good amount of focus on this game here. So I do like Michigan to take care of business here tonight against Oklahoma on this neutral site, my friend.
At the Spectrum Center, opened at 3 overnight, even at a 151. Now 4 with a 149. I love where your eyes are here. New coach has done wonders. I like Michigan to win. I think they cover the 4. If you can get a team total of 75 and a hook, I like the over. I think Michigan can get close to 80 today. I expect them to get to 76 or more today. I do think they cover the 4. Good spot for them. Playing great ball, as you said. They love the new coach. They're playing for him. I definitely think Michigan is the side there.
I like it. Skipping ahead a little bit here, in-state rivalry, Washington State and Washington tonight. I believe it is at Washington, if I'm not mistaken. But Washington, the short favorites here, minus 2.5. Both these teams have not been bad. Washington, a couple of their losses in conference so far on the West Coast, UCLA and USC. Washington 9-2 to this point. I don't know. Any thoughts on this one here? I think we're going to see Washington as one of the lesser teams in the Big Ten here. I don't think they're bad by any means, but one of the lesser teams in the Big Ten here. And Washington State might be able to skate by here in a not a neutral zone because it's obviously at Washington, but obviously in-state rivalry. Maybe they get some fans in there as well. So I kind of don't know what to make of this one, but I kind of lean towards Washington State as the better team in this one.
Great eyes open 2.5 now 3, 148 to a 149. Washington State team total 73. Washington 75 and a hook. I like the dog here plus the 3. I also think that they can get over their team total of 73. Keep an eye on that. I lean them plus the 3, a little pizza and beer money on the money line. And while we're here, I talked to Tyler Wyatt this morning after Brady Kannon. And I don't know if you've caught any of their games. A team to keep an eye on. I caught them late night last night. Big respect. Great coach. I think they're back. They're a year away. Are they going to win the Big Ten? No. but they're going to win some games, and that's the UCLA Bruins, Riley.
Yeah, that was. I would say no. I don't know that anyone thought they would be bad this year, but nobody, like you said, nobody was picking them to really break down any doors this year. But yeah, another team that, especially, it's a big team that's extremely deep. But I don't know that any of the teams in the Big Ten are one of the best 15 teams in the country this year. So it's a really winnable Big Ten this year as far as the regular season, what the tournament will see once we get down there, and obviously a ways to go. But yeah, no, I'm absolutely with you. They could have a surprise season, and a lot of these games are going to be scrappy. It's going to be interesting to see UCLA and obviously all these other teams, but UCLA, how they handle some of these longer road trips across the country that they're going to have to see without looking at their schedule, assuming they're going to have at least a couple tough road stretches there. So that's going to be the X factor for a lot of these teams, and vice versa. Some of these Midwest teams and Eastern Coast teams that have to go all the way to the West Coast going to be the same type of issue. So curious to see how it goes. Wisconsin, I mean, we've talked about them last year. They had one of the best non-conference Novembers in the Big Ten, probably the best non-conference aside from maybe Oregon, and 0-2 in the conference so far. So I've got I think I said it on record this year. I said it last year. It's a huge year for Greg Gard, and they did enough for him to keep his job last year. I think I said it. I was on record, but I'll say again. I think Greg Gard makes it through the season, but I don't think we'll be seeing Greg Gard a year from now in Wisconsin. I think they make a change after this year if things continue the way they're going.
No, I agree. It's a tough conference. A lot of talent. And again, any game, any given situation, you're supposed to win your home games and try to go 50-50 on the road. But in the Big Ten, I think a lot of teams on the road are, live road dogs. So it's going to be interesting who can defend their home court. The November and mid-December tournament schedule and play the cupcakes versus some real good teams. Now it's showtime. You're into conference play. You want to get a couple wins under your belt before the new year so you can really catch stride as you get into January.
Yeah, and just, I think we'd be talking a little bit different. I think Illinois is really good, but I think we'd be talking about them a little differently if they had beaten Tennessee. Tennessee gets a buzzer beater, length of the court, 5 seconds left. Otherwise, I think the nation would be talking about Illinois a little bit better this week. But I think they are good. They had a great win at home against Wisconsin. But to your point, they go on the road to Northwestern, who they usually have some success with, and can't get it done. So it's going to be an absolute dogfight in this Big Ten this year. And there's going to be a team or two that you didn't expect to be a tournament team that probably will be, just because this Big Ten 1 through 16 is so damn close this year.
I can pull up 5 games in the hockey slate. Anyone looking for some team totals here? You can get a big cherry on top with the Dallas Stars tonight, over 3.5, plus 135. They play Toronto tonight. Same with Florida at the Wild in Minnesota. You can get their team total over 3.5, plus 140. And Winnipeg at the Decks. Winnipeg team total over 3.5. You can get plus 115 there. Riley, any thoughts on the 2 college football games tonight?
Let's see. We got one that's kicking off already, Western Kentucky and James Madison. The other one, UNLV. Like you said, it's tough to call with some of these games here, and they're going to be a lot of them either going to be absolute blowouts because one team doesn't show up, or they're going to be madness and absolute chaos like we saw last night. So I think UNLV has something they want to prove. They lose to Boise State a couple times on the outside of the playoff looking in, had a real chance. So as long as they can convince themselves that they want to win this game, I think UNLV can take care of business. So I lean towards UNLV getting that favorite spot here in this one, but It's tough to call with some of these college football games. I think one of my better heaters, talking about heaters now, and I don't know that I'm ever going to get there again with this college bowl system, but before we had the transfer portal situation, I can't remember if it was COVID or maybe right before COVID, but had like an 11-1 bowl run to start the bowl season. So that's one of my better heaters. But I don't think I'm ever going to get to that point with these college bowls. You can flip a coin and really flip a coin, and you might have a better shot with some of these games. But I'll go on record with UNLV getting the victory tonight.
Yeah, a game where California opened up 1.5 with a 51.5, and it's now flipped. UNLV minus 3.5 with a 46. I was a big fan of UNLV this year. Had high hopes for them. Went through a little transition with the quarterback and running back both leaving. Could not get through Boise State and Ashton Genty not once but twice. Kind of be interested to see which team shows up, the defeated one that wished that they were where Boise State was, or the one that says, hey, let's go out on a high note here. Kind of intrigued. The 51.5 went to a 46. So they're expecting a low scoring game. Let me go to the team totals there, see if I can find something there. If you like UNLV tonight, team total over 24.5, you can get it even money. If you like Cal tonight, their team total over 21.5, you can get it plus 115. I like the plus money on either side if you want to go that route versus laying the 110. How's that sound?
Yeah, it sounds good to me. Let's just have a fun late night game in this one here. I like it. We'll get some points out of that one, but sounds good to me, my friend. The other one, I think James Madison already starting to score in the other one there.
Yeah, they closed at 7 with a 51. I did lean on the Madison side. Again, their team total 29 in the hook. Western Kentucky 20 in the hook over. I liked the Western Kentucky team total under 20 in the hook. I think Madison gets to that 27, 28. Do they get to 30 or 31? I don't know. So we laid low on that one there. Closing thoughts there.
Closing thoughts, nothing too crazy. Just got to get ready, have a happy holiday season. We will be back on Friday, I'm sure, talking all things those 4 college football games. Maybe sprinkle it in. You got the FCS semifinals as well on Saturday. Maybe we sprinkle in a little thoughts on those. I don't know. Got the usual suspects in those games for the most part there. So that'll be fun. And, I didn't dive too deep into the golf last night, but before you know it, we'll be having some good golf conversations again in January and February, my friend. Those are some of my favorite times of finding some angles on the old greens there. So other than that, nothing too crazy, my friend. Happy to be back with you. As you can see, still a little congested, but plowing right through it, and we're happy to be back in the swing of things, my friend.
Tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, Paul Stone will be back here to break down the 4 games. He'll give out some of his recommendations there. Let me just double check to confirm. I know 30 stars. Okay. Well, anyways, and then Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern, Ron Marmalewski at Ron A Sports will be here to talk some college and NFL. Friday morning, the NCAA Insiders will be back at 11 a.m. and 11:35 will be Adam Trigger to talk some college hoops. Myself and Riley, of course, will be back sometime Friday afternoon for the closing bell. Again, anyone that just joined us here can go to eastcoastsportsinvestors.com, plans and pricing. Sign up for $3 a day, $99 a month. Once you do that, DM me at EC Sports Investor. Send us an email at eastcoastsportsinvestors@gmail.com. Tell me you signed up. I'll get some information from you. We'll work out a long-term deal. Anyone that's looking for a long-term deal through May, sign up for $375. That's retail for 1 month, and then you will get all the way from today all the way through the month of May. That's the Masters. That's the first month of baseball. The second month of baseball, that is the Kentucky Derby. That is the Preakness. As Riley said, the PGA Championship. Probably get you through the Stanley Cup playoffs as well, and almost through the NBA Championship. So again, it's literally pennies on the dollar. Do the math there. That's me giving back to you. We are on one of those heaters, 15-1, our last 16 games, starting on Friday. We're going to dive into a couple tonight. College basketball team totals. Hope to keep the streak going. So for myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Investor, one and only Riley Magnuson at Riley_Magnuson, the one. We wish everyone a blessed day, a blessed evening. Have some fun, cash some tickets, and we'll see you in the AM.